Welcome to the Whiteburg City update. Please stand by for the top stories. Your top stories this week. Greenwich House has been complete, and future works around the Mall. Those were your top stories. Please stand by.
Well guys, you're joining us from inside the main dome, the main atrium of Greenwich House. Now, Goblin's here with me because we've just pasted this back in. This is all the work done by Wub. Actually, Wub's like outside, isn't he? He's just there.
Yeah.
He's just
He's in the sky.
he's staring up at something, and that something is the centerpiece of Greenwich. Goblin, it's finally back in. Guys, it's here after so long of talking about it. It's finally in place. Now, there is not enough viewpoints in this place to sort of everything looks good. Like, what's your favourite spot on this map so far to stand in, Goblin?
This corner on the diagonal path that's like near the church. This one underneath the trees.
That little special spot over here. This.
Yeah.
Look at the framing on that. Now, I'm gonna have to just do something. So, Goblin, and I've just turned on Chipotle shaders, as I call them. Oh my god, it's beautiful.
I'm just gonna turn on PS.
It's hulking, it's huge, and this is only the front half of it. There's so much more to this building, but this is the main feature piece. Oh my! So guys, that is that, and what a way to start a video as well. So the rest of today's video is going to be mainly focused on us building the back of it, the exterior, but is there any point? Can we finish the project here, Goblin? Can we paste the rest in?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
It's done. No.
I wish.
I wish. Wub is just gazing up at that. I think he's waiting to he went AFK about an hour ago, and he's been watching us build it off camera. But yeah, I'm gonna walk back inside where we were and just, oh my god. Hang on, I haven't actually looked at this place in shaders yet. Or have I? I might change over to PSL actually. Okay, so we're back inside here. I love this. I love the colours, and the feel is so grand. It's so baroque. It works so well. So yeah, the rest of the sections we got to do now, as I mentioned, are out this back door over here. So when we come out this way, we're going to be greeted with a field of green, a field, and oh, I nearly forgot about that. The giant pit down the bottom. Let me turn on the Lightmatica. Yeah, so Goblin knows about this, and in the bottom of this place is a statue. Now, as you know, there are many statues around here. Goblin, which one is down the bottom there?
This one's the one that's actually of you.
It's the only statue of me in the entire world currently, and it's at the bottom of what's known as the pit, in the middle of a building that no public will ever enter, no public will ever see. Why am I down here? I don't remember the reasons why. Yeah.
I'm fairly sure this is the one that you built.
It is the one I built, yeah. So I don't know why I put it down here. But yeah, this is the pit. This is the strange little area down in here. Then we haven't really spoken much about these courtyards. So over in this courtyard, this is the sort of the main private side of the Prime Minister's house. What happens here is the car comes in through this gate here. So it comes in through the main gate. Someone walks out from the house, opens the gate. Comes on through. Oh, I've got a serious lag. Someone then checks to make sure it is the right people. Comes on in here. I spent too long planning this out in my head when I designed this place. And then it kind of drops them off under the building. So we haven't dug out the whole building properly yet. But under here is a sort of a carport. Car comes in and then it drives out the back, and it either gets left over here in the stables or parked up over here on the gravel or taken back out again. Yes, I know, I spent way too long designing traffic management for inside of a Brock Palace. It was quite a long summer. It wasn't that hot. That's when we were designing. I think I had a bad leg at the time as well, so we just laid up in bed for a bit. And then we have more statues in here. This one hasn't loaded in correctly yet, but this is Queen Victoria, also with my head on. And then there is another courtyard over here, which is actually used for main public functions when you have people in for like ceremonies and stuff. So yeah, right, anyway, I think it's enough showing around. I think we should build it, Goblin. Let's should we get started?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Okay, update time. Right, so me and Goblin have been building the side wings. You joined us last inside the interior there, but we actually set about on different paths after that. So I ended up building this entire wing here. Well, most of it. There's little bit at the back still. And over that side there, Goblin had a go at building this one as well. And this just speeds up progress a little bit, because now these both sides are going well, and around the back we can actually start building the Hampton Court Palace facade of this together, and we can actually do a bit of copying and pasting, flipping it over, doing what needs to happen. Then it gets on to the interesting part. As we mentioned before, the courtyards go in there and one in there. You can see now the ground's starting to be dug out for them, and then that's the house pretty much done. There's only one little thing left, as we mentioned at the beginning of last episode, I believe. The stables goes in here, where this little handy thing's been left between the trees. And oh, what's this over here? Which statue is this? This is His Majesty William IV. Ah, well, another plug for my statue Instagram. If you want to go check out some more information about statues, all of them that are featured here in the Whiteburg City, please go follow Statues of Whiteburg over on Instagram. We're trying to get quite a few followers on that now. I think there's over 100 or so far. Crazy how many people want to see my face many times again. Oh, actually, speaking of statues, here are the Greek gods. So we have Zeus in the middle, and then the rest of the pantheon either sides. Yes, I know there's meant to be 12, and there's only 11 here, so we're going to have to kick one out. In the comments below, let me know which Greek god you would happily kick out down to the underworld. Speaking of the underworld, here it is. This is Hades and Helia? That might be the wrong pantheon there, but yes. So this is the underworld, and that's the Greek pantheon at the top. I have no idea how that came about. I just put statues in, and me and Goblin were chatting last night about it while building, and then suddenly it formed into a pantheon. I think I'm going to carry on building the back of this bit now, round to the side, and I'll find you again before we do the old flipperino and get that back bit in. Right, let's get started. Right, well, I didn't actually catch you before I did the old flipperino. As you can see behind me, much progress has carried on, and I'm now standing here on the lovely statue of Queen Victoria, or as I've named her, Her Maj, Queen Vic. Yeah, but it's another likeness, another beautiful statue to sit here amongst the courtyards. Now, as you can see, the courtyards are growing, and some of you may notice the likeness to Hampton Court Palace, at least on the interior here. Yes, I did use that as inspiration because I like Wren's work, as you can probably tell. Now, let's have a look outside and actually see this beauty in all its glory. Ah, and here it is. This is like my favourite part of the building, I think. Well, maybe. This lovely facade carries on just as a beautiful piece of Baroque architecture, almost sort of having the notes of Versailles. Again, this is based on Hampton Court Palace, but there is a lot done here to make it sort of different. Now, I'm not entirely sure these are right, so I made these little details here, little scrolls that hang above everything like this. Now, when I was doing it with Litematica, I'm not going to turn it on because you know how much lag there is. I haven't turned it on in weeks, so we need to find out what's going on with that. But these walls come through in Litematica is actually like debugged, but I think it looks better when they're connected like that. You get more details in there, like so. Hey, and then yes, so this is most of the building done. All I have left to do really is finish off the roof, which shouldn't be too hard. There's a few little details on this part of the roof that aren't the same as that part of the roof. I think there's a little skylight in that, and then it's just a case of doing the inner courtyards and the pit. Now, this section here is different. It's not a flip and copy and paste. It will be a custom, not even custom, it's just a different sort of section of the building, and it sits here as the main entrance hall into the building itself. So during its time as a palace, this section here was actually the front door, and it had got upgrades when this place got built. Anyway, so there's a few little things I want to do quickly first before we get back onto the inner courtyards, and that is the copy and paste job of this, the stables. So I'm going to take you somewhere quickly. Right, well, welcome back to Greenwich, but this time it's actually July 2021 rather than the current date, which I don't know what the date is. Apparently it is the 4th of December. Still, welcome to the kind of finished but yet not fully formalized, realized buildings. You can see here all of the stuff that I have yet to paste back in is actually here, and this is going to be part of probably the next update where we come through and copy and paste a lot of stuff. Oh, train station hasn't been built. Interesting. Right. I haven't actually looked at this world yet. I came on here because I needed to find something that didn't exist in a later world, because I accidentally deleted it. And that something is this church over here that Goblin built. The Archers Church sits inside St. John Smith Square, I think it is. I accidentally deleted half of this. Oh, and also the Temple of the Four Winds that we didn't actually know where it ended up. Like, Ozzy built that and it kind of disappeared as well. Yeah, I got a bit, I don't know, crazy when I deleted a lot of stuff. I just wanted it gone so we could rebuild, but rebuilding never really happened. And then there is this. This is based on the Albert Monument that sits out front of the Royal Albert Hall, I think. Yeah, it makes sense. And it sits here and gives a perfect look straight down through to the building. Ah, yes, I was correct. They should be like that. Yeah, this gets pasted back in once we're done with all of this. So anyway, what I wanted to do was come over here and take a copy of the stables. Now, I haven't got a schematic of these stables. Right, let me just install WorldEdit and then we'll get back to it. Right, with WorldEdit back installed now, let's try and copy and paste this one. That was actually quite embarrassing. I didn't expect that. I haven't reinstalled that since I moved to 1.17. Anyway, what I wanted to do was a quick little sort of, not even tutorial, just explanation on how I copy and paste things. Because I know a lot of people kind of get a little bit confused with how to copy and paste with WorldEdit. Now what I'm going to do here is I've taken the first point over there and it's the same level as the ground because I've got all sorts on the ground as well to take. And now I'm going to fly over here and get a sort of a whole section. So I'm going to do / pos2, which now sets my second position as to where I am. And there are some mods that allow you to see the selection box you make with WorldEdit. I don't tend to use those, and that's why Lightmatica is actually tons better. Although, if it was to paste debugged stuff, then I think that's fine. But still, so a lot of people then go ahead and start copying from where they're standing like now. So let's say I'm in this arbitrary location here and I type / copy. What that's going to do is that sets my origin point as to where I am, and allows me to then, well, when you paste it back in, you're in the wrong spot, because let's say you want to actually paste it in on this corner, you paste it in and suddenly it's underground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand on this corner here, so I know when I come back into game on the server, I can actually paste it in exactly the same spot. So I'm going to do / copy, then we're going to do / schematic, save. Now I'm going to save this as GRN, which is the code I have for Greenwich stuff, 003 because I'm not entirely sure what's in 002, and then 001 on there, just so it kind of goes, right, I know what that is. Press enter, that has now been saved. Oh, you see inside my head. And this can now be pasted back where we have the Lightmatica of this. So let's jump back on the server and get that pasted in. Right, we're back in the server, but what I forgot to say is it's not as simple as kind of copying and then pasting back onto the server. What has to happen is you have to actually go into your files, find the schematic, dump it into the schematic files on your server, and then it goes there. Which again is like another plus point for Lightmatica. Speaking of Lightmatica, let's turn it on and embrace the lag. So once this is, oh, it's not too bad. I've only got number 6 loaded in. Yeah, that should be okay. Right, so that's number 6 loaded in there. So what we do have here is the stables as we saw it in the other part, in the other world. Now what I'm going to do here as well is use the commands known as the perfs. So this is what sets up in your WorldEdit to actually update or allow it to interact with neighbors when you debug stuff and then copy and paste it. So if you don't want any of your debug work to change when you paste, you need to make sure you turn off your perf updates, get that switched off, and then perf neighbors as well. Now this allows, like I said, to be pasted as perfect as possible, and then obviously if you do want to get those updates happening again, you just set them to on. This does change every time you actually log it in and out of a server or out of your world. There are some servers, I think this one does have a little bit of a lag when it changes stuff, so if you log back in within a few minutes, it does kind of stay on, but it's always worth to check that just so you don't ruin something that's got debug work in it. Anyway, let's do schematic list, and we're going to try and find that one. So there's a lot of schematics in here. So I found it, GRN 003. Perfect, let's get this in. Now I've clicked the little L button, which means it's loaded now to my clipboard, and what I'm going to do here is just / paste. And hey presto, it's in. And not just that, it's in the right place, the right location, and if we do that, we can see all of the debug work has carried on being here. And the statues are perfect. Yes, this building has more statues on it than I really care to admit. There's a little bit of tidying up work I need to do. It mainly involved this bit here actually. So let's get this back out and just set this to a mix of, I've got 80% gravel, so that's 80% 13 for gravel there, and then I've also got 20% dead tube coral, I think. Yes, that is correct. So that gives a nice little gravel path effect there. I am going to leave... Oh, I'm in a tree, apparently. I am going to leave the interior in here as grass path because it kind of looks more like a stable. But yeah, this is the little stable block. We've got the flats above it for the coach house workers and the stable workers, and a nice big gated entrance here with, of course, another dome. It wouldn't be Whiteburg City without the domes now, would it? So guys, I'm going to carry on with the building behind me and get this roof finished, and then we'll call this update a day once this is all done. In the next update, I think we will start pasting in all of this stuff over here because that's going to be quite the mission still. Well then guys, it is done. We are standing here now in the pit at the base of this incredible structure, and actually we're next to my statue, my only statue, the only statue actually of me in the entire complex. All of the rest are just imitations, or not even me, as we know. Welcome to the final product and the final part of the actual building in this series. Everything else will be pasted in over there in the next episode. But let's have a quick little look around this area, because this is the sort of not that well seen area, and there isn't much to it. It's just a couple of walkways between what was the original house and the new structure built behind it, and I just love this area just from the views you get from it. All of these columns, all of them just expand across everything. Now, those ones over there might be a little bit short, but I still think they look really good. Another statue that isn't of me. And what we've done is to enable actually having some light under here without really having bulky lights. We've gone for using those light blocks that I showed you guys in the previous video. And under here, it just really does help give such an atmosphere. One day I will come through here and I'll show you all of this with the shaders on. Not today though. Not just yet. We're not going to ruin that fun, are we? So guys, join me next time when we start pasting in all of the rest of the Mall, and we can finally tick this one off the list, and Greenwich can be done. Well guys, until next time, remember, get inspired and get building, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
That has been another program from the Whiteburg Broadcasting Company. Please stand by for more programming. Do not adjust your set.